Hello and welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer and the rice is ready to harvest again on Hutan Pantai. So as normal, we're going to sell off today's produce in the shop first. We got our first bag of spinach here. So I'm hoping this is going to give us a nice little boost to our money. And yeah, 1,739 for that. We've got another pallet of kimchi to sell today as well, so that's good. And I think we've got some of the mushrooms to go as well. We're then going to alter things a little bit in our greenhouse. I think if we distribute the stuff from the greenhouse straight to the productions, that's going to mean we lose a lot less of the stuff that we have. We discussed last time how every time you take a pallet to your production plant, you end up losing half of it, especially if you're using the additional stuff from the kimchi recipe. So we're going to distribute going forwards, and hopefully that is going to mean that we lose a lot less of our products when we're doing that. So yeah, that's what we're aiming to do at the moment. These need to go to the sale. Now I'm aiming and beginning to think about what we're going to be doing after the rice. Of course, we're going to prepare the rice fields for next year, 881, and that is not going to take us too long. And I don't want to do just solid contracts over winter again. So I think we might see if we can make some money from wood chips over the winter. There's a section of woodland up there that would be really, really good as a bit to buy. It's not too expensive and it would allow us to do that. Let's change the output mode of this then to distributing, so the Napa cabbage is going straight into our production, and then this should be the last set of Napa cabbage that we need to transport for a while. Yeah, I think if we were to do some wood chips, we'd do pretty well. The problem we've got is that this tractor is not powerful enough to run the wood chipper, so we would have to probably hire the M8 Kubota and use that instead with the wood chipper. We can use our own trailer and do it that way. I think that would work best. Grab a chainsaw, wood chipper and tractor, and we'll go from there. I think would be a really good setup. So I'm going to look at doing that, I think, as we get into the winter. And also the wood chip prices are better at that time of year. Our goats are still doing well. Goat cheese still being produced, and that is going, we're moving that into our little dairy. It doesn't function very quickly, that dairy, though. So we've not got any goat's milk out. When we do, though, the price of it is really good. So we'll see how that does. Let's hop into our harvester then. Start this up. And yeah, we should be able to get started getting this year's rice harvest in. Quite close in there. And I really enjoy using this little harvester. It's a brilliant little piece of kit. Works really, really well. Is inexpensive. And as a result, rice works fantastically with it. I also like sort of having small rice paddies and things. We don't know how much bonus are we getting from this year. Okay, so our yield bonus on here, interestingly, if we can find a point where it shows again, because it doesn't show very often. There we are, ready to harvest. 87%. That's a little bit odd because our field is fully mulched. Well, no, there it isn't. So this is interesting. If I stand in the middle of the field, it doesn't tell me what the bonus is on here. We've got no weeds. We've got no, we're fully fertilized. We don't need plowing. We don't need lime. We don't need rolling, and we don't need mulching. I don't know if there's any bonus on the rice. Certainly there are places that tell you, but it seems to be 87%. So I don't know if it's even possible to get a 100% bonus on the rice, interestingly. So let's start this up. In we go. And yeah, GPS is active. In fact, we never turned it off last time. And yeah, let's see how much we get off the headland of this field. Coming up to the end of the row, we've got a little bit outside the field. Interesting. There have been a few bits like this around the field. Interesting little bits where I've had to go back. We are at 27% full. So pretty decent cut off the front there, about 500 odd litres. So yeah, looks to be good. Last time we filled the trailer from all 3 fields here. I'm expecting this is going to be maybe a little bit more than that. I'm certainly hoping so. I would like to think that all the work that we've done on this field will give us an increased yield over the previous year, but we'll see how it goes. Currently, we seem to be doing better. We're a third full at this point already. Coming to the end of the third headland, and as the perimeter of each headland has contracted, as expected, the amount of actual crop we've got from it has diminished. We're down to we're up to 68% harvested on this field. So that's not too bad. We are going to end up with a full tank off this harvester before the end of this field as a result of that. So that's very good news. I'm not sure we had a full one off here last time. I'd need to go back and check. I can't actually remember. But it certainly seems to be producing a decent amount of crop on here, and we will end up with a full harvester by the end of this field if we're able to get a tank and a half off here, and we're able to get a tank and a half off the other larger field down the bottom, and we get a tank off the middle one. That will fill our trailer, and that would be excellent. I would be very happy with that. So we'll see how close we get to that. At the moment, we're 80% full, and yeah, I think we're definitely going to have a full tank off this field. We're almost full. In fact, we're going to be full before the end of this row. So let's back this out. In fact, one of the nice things about this is how maneuverable this harvester is. Let's get the auger out. And yeah, it is going out on that side. I'm not even going to move the traction trailer. We'll just back it up and empty into it from here. That makes more sense. And yeah, so that is a quarter of the trailer full, which really good start. We're definitely going to have a full trailer because we've got more fields. But to have this trailer at that point here, that's really good. I don't think the rest of this field is going to give us a half a tank. I think we might be lucky to get a third of a tank off here. But we'll see how it goes. At the moment, we are doing really, really well. We're going to be able to get a lot of rice cakes off of this rice. Final row off this first field, and we are at nearly 40%. Actually slightly higher than I was expecting. Really good news, because that means that we are looking quite strong for the other 2 fields. We could end up with a full trailer off of these. So as a result, I think what we're going to do is I might set things up and time lapse the other 2 fields, because that would be really, really good to see all of that go through. So yeah, let's get to it. coming to the end of the final row here, and it's not quite as much as the previous one. Admittedly, we had to fill in some of the second tank with the field with this field, with the field above not quite doing a full tank, but still we've got a fair amount of here. Not been too bad at all. Yeah, that's looking a pretty full trailer there of rice. Let's see, how full is it? And we are 93%, 7,509 litres. So I'm pretty pleased with that. That is a good result on here. What I need to do now is head up the road with this, and we'll get set up on the next field. Before we start the next field, though, I'm just going to get our production working. I switched over to the grain door on here. Somebody suggested I should be using the grain door to tip into here because it's a little bit more realistic. To be honest, with tipping onto the ground anyway, it's not like there's a particular place. Let's tip out of that, though. It's a little bit slower, but this will empty out into here. And then how much rice will this take? This will take 24,000 litres of rice. So we've no worries about possibly hitting the top there. So let's activate the rice bag. It is 56 rice to 50 rice rolls. So that's a pretty good output. I don't think the rice bag, yeah, the rice bag is nowhere near as good. So if we look at the price here, we can have a look at the rice rolls, which is almost a 1-to-1 sell for sort of 2,800, and the price doesn't massively fluctuate. And in fact, with our farmers kiosk, we easily make that. The rice bags, going by the fact that we lose half, only makes 2,600. I'm not even sure that is worth doing that conversion, seeing as rice makes 2,079. So yeah, we get a bit of a boost from doing the rice rolls. We had about 50% on the top. The rice bag is about is pretty awful, actually, considering we get 2,000 per rice. So it takes 4,000 pounds worth of rice to make 2,600 pounds worth of rice bag. Yeah, that is absolutely not worth it. So yeah, let's head down to the field and get the harvester started on our final one. So having got 7,500 off our first three fields, my hopes are quite high for this field. This is the first time we've done field 27, and there is no mulching on this field at all. So we'll now get to see exactly how much that affects things. In fact, if we stop here quickly, I just want to jump out. Is the yield bonus on this field as well is 87%. So there's no difference between this field and the other three fields we've already harvested as far as the yield bonus goes. I'm wondering how we get the yield bonus on these rice fields up to the maximum, because at the moment it's not obvious. There seems to be an inability to do that, to get that maximum. So yeah, not really sure. Looks like our GPS around this corner is a little bit messed up, but we're back on it now. Yeah, GPS around here, especially around these headlands with this slightly odd-shaped field, is going to be a little bit difficult, but I think we're going to be all right. And we're already 360 litres off here, so not doing too badly at all. Quite happy with this. I think we got some bits around the edges to go and clear up before we get the second headland done. So I will go round and clear those up. But at the moment, looks like our first headland is going to be a pretty good one. Yeah, and there's a fair amount around these headlands that has been left. So fully expecting to have to go round. Although if I'm going to turn in and get that last bit, I'm going to have to go and grab this. So off our track, we'll grab the stuff around the edge. We want to grab as much as we can outside the field. The fact that anything's grown outside the field is a little bit amazing, but there's enough of it for me to go right. I need to go around the edge. 95 litres around that first edge, plus whatever we get now just doing this cleanup. That's really good. We're gonna get diminishing returns as the perimeter closes in, as we do the other two headlands, but at the moment it's looking like we might get a full harvester, maybe about the point we cut in, which would be good. That's on par with some of our bigger fields. And after 3 headlands, we're at 83%. I'm really happy with that. That's a very good amount. We're gonna start then on this side of the field. I've got a rough idea of where my lines are, but wow, this field is a very, very interesting shape. I seem to have cut in some interesting places, but we are going to start off here and hopefully get some lines to go by without too much hassle. Really love this rice harvester. This is an absolute joy to use, this little piece of kit. And yeah, I couldn't be happier. Rice is a really nice crop to do. I'm not convinced it's a really well-paying crop. In fact, I'm fairly sure at this point that it isn't. But it is a nice crop to do, an enjoyable crop to do. So we'll see how we do. And we're coming up to a full tank. So let's get the auger out. And we reach the end of this row. No, there we are. That's 2,000 litres. We'll start up our tractor and trailer and go and get that emptied. Wow, we might end up with another half a trailer here. There's a distinct possibility that there's another full tank's worth of rice on here. If that's the case, we could end up with as much as 12,000 litres off these 4 fields that we've done. That would be exceptionally good. I would be very, very happy with that. That would lead to 6,000 litres of the rice cakes at nearly £3,000 per 1,000 litres. That is well, that's 18 grand off our rice, which would be brilliant. That would be absolutely fantastic. That does kind of speak to how profitable rice is, though. I'm getting excited about making 18,000 off 4 fields worth of rice. If that holds, if we really are only going to make that much, that's not a lot. We've had much bigger amounts off this amount of fields before. So yeah, I don't think rice is the most profitable. We'll have to see how things go, though. I could be wrong in those calculations, but if we're looking at 12,000 litres of rice, that will go down into I think it's like 45. For every 100 we get 45 litres of the rice cakes. That is yeah, so it's about half. It's actually a little bit over or a little bit under half. So we're looking at rough calculations here. We'll say it's half. Even so, 12,000 litres down to 6,000, and then it's not even 3,000. So it's not even going to be multiplied by 3. It could be as far down as like 12,000 that we end up with for all this work. Yeah, if that's true, rice absolutely massively not a profitable crop. Coming up to another full tank off here. We're at 97%, so I'm gonna have to turn around, get a little bit more, and then back out to unload. I might just go over to the tractor and trailer and unload. Yeah, that puts us just 500 litres short of hitting that 12,000 litres. Back that out. Yeah, we'll stay in this. We'll go and empty this out. But yeah, that puts us very nearly on that 12,000 litres. We've got 4,000 here, so 11,500 with the 7.5 or 7,500 litres that we've already put into our productions. And we've got very little bit of the field left to go, so I think we'll hit at least another 500 litres. If we're lucky, we'll hit another 1,000. But that's, I think that's less likely. So let's see how we do and just finish this off. Yeah, there's not a huge amount of field left here. So I think 500 litres, very likely. I think 1,000 litres will be stretching it a bit. Looks like even 500 litres might be stretching it. We've got this bit to clean up here. We got anything to clean up at the end of the road? No. And then we've just got a few bits down here. We're only at 387 litres. So actually, we're not going to make the 12,000 litres, I don't think. We are just shy of it off these 3 fields. That is, or off these 4 fields. That is slightly surprising. Yeah, we are at 410, 415 litres. Nope, not even that. 414 litres. So yeah, that puts us probably less than 100 litres short of the 12,000 litres. So we haven't even made that target, which is very interesting. So how much have we got in this farm tech trailer? Yeah, 4,413 litres of rice. That is less than I would have hoped for, I think, of here. I would have liked at least another 100 to 200 litres off this field. So we'll pack our harvester away for another year. Need to get it backed up into the shed and out the way. Fits in here quite nicely, this little shed. You stick it right in the corner. It's very much out the way. Turn it off. Right, let's go get the tractor and trailer. I've left a few stalks over there. I'm not going to go get the harvester out for those. That's not going to make the difference. We just going to go and tip this into our production. And that will do us. Slightly disappointing. Although we do have more output from the production today. So we'll get that sold off next time. There we are, and tip that. So what have we got waiting to sell off next time? We have some rice cakes, the first set of rice cakes, 1,000 litres of those, and we've got our first lot of peas. The peas are going to be worth a huge amount of money to us. And going through here at the moment, I think we are out of peas. We are, so we will deactivate that. So we got 1 pallet of peas out of that. Everything else is going well. Our spinach is still going, so we're still doing that. Spring onions, rice we're now processing. We've got 11,766 litres in there to process. So money will be coming in, and it might not be quite as much as I'd hoped, but we have got a pallet of peas out from doing that contract, and that is going to be worth a lot of money to us. Next time we'll be looking at turning our fields around quickly. We've got to get everything done. In the shop, we do have this, and it comes with the crane arm on it for 31,000. Ouch. Yeah, that might not be the bargain that I thought it was going to be. I had kind of hoped that we might pick that up, but at 31,000, I don't think that's going to pay for itself very quickly. So we'll leave that, I think. And that's where we're going to leave here for today. So all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.